Hey there, y'all. This is Jack, and today we are discussing Kagurabachi Chapter 18 Roar. And yes, alright, spoilers if you have not read this chapter, go read it. It's pretty interesting. And this is the conclusion to Chihiro versus Sojo. So, yeah, Sojo dies. My boy is dead. Oh boy. He is dead and dusted, alright? If you like content like this, you know the drill. Consider subscribing. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, let's go right into the review, shall we? All right, so yeah, Sojo's dead. Sojo just drops dead and he just falls to the ground bloody, and his sword is absolutely destroyed. Cloud Gouger, it was pretty insane to see that. They do give an explanation on why it braked, because I was under the impression that these swords are extremely powerful, but they do give an explanation that's like, okay, I can see why it's like that. All right, let's go right into it. As Sojo just falls down, blood gushing from him. Yes, this is a death wound. He will not be able to recover from this. As Sojo is surprised that the sword broke, and he thinks to himself, a lethal blow. Cloaking himself with twice the spirit energy, the body allowed, ignoring what would happen after the battle, to behead the enemy at all costs. The price hurts my entire being more than the lethal wound. So essentially, Chihiro put everything he had into this single blow to deliver this massive strike, regardless of what would happen to Chihiro's body in the end. So we better see some repercussions after this, because Chihiro, as he's standing there, he just spills out blood. As Sojo continues, it looks like you paid a very hefty price as well. I thought I was gonna throwing in all my chips, and in the end I used the dredge to my power spirit to summon me for a counterattack, but I never imagined you destroyed Cloud Gouger. So yeah, Sojo did not expect this sword to be destroyed. He went to go block it, but Shido managed to break through the sword, which is, would be very shocking. I would even be shocked if I was in that situation. As he says, I guess the enchanted blade chose you. And Cheeto says, no, that's not true. They chose you too. But and then the conversation trails off, as we do get the rest of this conversation in a few more pages. As he's about to fall forward, but Shiba catches him and Shar's there. As Shiba just thinks to himself, the enchanted blade. You did well, Chihiro. Then someone appears behind them in the distance, but as Shiba looks over, they're gone. I first thought it was Azami, but I could be wrong. I honestly don't know who this is, because this person comes in with a suitcase, but they're gone when Shiba turns around, and I don't see why Azami would, just show up, see this, and then just disappear. So yeah, I'm very curious to who this could possibly be. We'll see in the future. And then we get Shiro just looking over at Sojo, as Sojo's just climbing up the steps. He's going back to get the stone, because you'll see later on as he's climbing away. And yeah, oh my, Sojo. I'm not gonna say poor Sojo, because he's a piece of trash. He's this evil guy, all right. But I did like this character. I like the way he acted. I like his aesthetic, his personality. But again, he's a piece of trash. So I'm not gonna say I feel sorry for him, but just seeing him crawling, not crawling away, but crawling to the stone, because he has a reason for that. And also, I just want to bring up that when we got a flashback of his childhood, and it seems like we're not gonna get any more on that. I'm perfectly fine with that. We don't need to know everything about this character. We don't need to see how he came to this conclusion, on why he's the way he is. We don't need that. We got enough from what he's told us. That he wants to, he wants to get the sacred swords and be, just be super strong with it, because that's the way, he wants to be, just because he saw that the creator of the swords are meant to massacre and kill people. That's his point of view. That's all we really need. We don't need his backstory. We don't need to see, him being a child and being um see his lifestyle, how he was, how he became like this. We don't need to see that. I personally don't, to be honest. Let me know in the comment section if you wanted to see it. I mean, it'd be cool to see, but it's not needed. All right, so let's continue. As Sojo just climbing up the stairs, Ashiba just says, with his guts hanging out like that, he'll be lucky to last a few minutes. We have the info we need, and he's hardly in the state to be tortured anyway. So should I finish him off? And Cheeto's like, no. I don't think that's necessary. As Sojo just climbing up the steps, saying, "I need just one more time." And then we get Char going up to Cheeto, saying, "Hey, let me see your arm, Cheeto. I could fix your wound. Just let me see." As Cheeto's missing his right arm, and Cheeto just says, "I don't want you touching this." And she says, "It's okay. Hurry up, Cheeto." And she goes up to his arm and touches it. And then we cut to Sojo just walking back into the science room as he sees, as he says, "Yep, they destroyed everything, but I don't need any of the equipment. I understand the enchanted blades. I can control it now." As he reaches out and grabs the stone that are used to create the enchanted blade. As he says, "The last of my spirit power. Before I die, I can stand equal to him." As he grabs the stone, holds onto it, energy comes from it, and splat! His body gets mangled. His body gets absolutely destroyed as he drops the stone and says, "What am I missing? Then what's the problem?" As he remembers what Cheeto says to him, as he says, "They chose you to." Then we cut back to Cheeto. It looks like his arm didn't really heal all that well. It looks like the wound somewhat closed, but didn't heal completely. As Char is completely surprised by this, and Shiba just says, "Well, you can't expect to master it right away." As she remembers the time Sojo just kind of berated her and her mother, telling her, that if it wasn't for for this power, you would have a happy life. And the Cheeto just puts his hand on her head and says, "Don't be silly. I won because you healed me earlier. It's thanks to your power." So yeah, I'm glad to see that she's able to heal his arm somewhat, but she still didn't master it. She can't use it at will, which is a good thing, I'd say, because again, it'd be kind of broken and very odd that her power could just be like that and heal people. So I liked it. I like that. She tried, but she failed. And Cheeto's like, Char, it's all right. You healed me enough earlier in this fight. I was able to stand up to Sojo and kill him. It's all good. I like that. And then we cut back to Sojo as he remembers they chose you too, but you were never, you'll never stand equal to my father, and for that, I'll cut you down. And right there, Sojo just shouts, "Rokurari!" As a massive explosion happens, the stone blows up, and then we get a narration saying, "In the abandoned Kurabato Castle in southwest Chiba, Jachiji Sojo's dead body has been identified." So yes, he is absolutely dead. Man, if this does get animated, I'm totally gonna try out to be his voice actor. I like this guy. All right, all right. So yes, then we cut to 10 days later, Kanubai headquarters, and we get. It's pretty cool. I'm assuming like these are like the head of the Kanubai, and we get all of them essentially just talking about the events that transpired. Essentially, like, yeah, Sojo, he essentially wasn't the mastermind behind all of this, and it turns out that there's a seventh sacred blade out there that they didn't know about, and that essentially we also learned that the previous owners of the sacred blades, if you're an owner of it and you relinquish the blade to someone else, yeah, they can't use its power. The only people that can use its power are the original users of them, and the only way to use their power is if they're killed. So that was interesting. I didn't expect that at all, but that's pretty neat. I like that. And so essentially, the Kanubai are essentially saying, yeah, we have protection on the previous users 24/7. So we don't have to worry about if their swords are stolen. Their swords are stolen, obviously, but they can't rampage using it because the previous users are still alive. So very cool. I like that. And also, Cloud Gouger is also gone. They were unable to retrieve it, and so yeah, essentially, they also learned, through, excuse me, through as again, forgive me, Japan, Kazami, that the one that survived the fight between Sojo, and also Ikuto also survived as well, but he's currently essentially unconscious. He's in a coma. He lost his legs, but he's still alive. And Kazami essentially just spilled the beans on air, well, not everything, I should say, on the essentially that yeah, that there's a seventh sword out there. Um, there's a seventh sword out there, but he didn't give away that Cheetos is is the son of the creator of the swords. But he said, I couldn't let that go. I couldn't condone allowing the enchanted blades to being unchecked. So Cheeto has both two enchanted swords, and Azami just remembers when he spoke to him about that. And then they speak to Azami saying, like, okay, yeah, that we're essentially gonna have to, get the besides them, get the big guns to go after Chihiro. And as they're talking about that, they go up to this woman named Hiyuki, and they're like, Hiyuki, they're calling for you. You've been granted permission to use flame bone up to the torso. And so yeah, they're hiring an assassin essentially to go after Cheeto. So even though Cheeto's on their side, they don't know that. They just think that he's just some guy out there just, trying to get these swords, which is very like, man, this is messed up here. And they can't, and Azami can't speak up because again, they're still gonna go after Cheeto to try to get the swords from him, right? Because they want to keep the swords safe, and they're not gonna leave it in the hands of this teenager. So again, yeah, holy freak, this is messed up here. I feel so bad for Cheeto, but yeah, they're going after him. So Cheeto, again, the Kamerubai are good guys. They're legit good people. Well, from what we've seen, and they're going to sending an assassin after Cheeto to take him down. So wow, I did not expect this turn whatsoever, but I see where they're going with this. And the creator, I gotta give it to you, man. You you keep getting this. You keep getting me hyped, and I'm hyped for this. And I just want to say I'm gonna give this chapter a 7 out of 10. I really really liked it. I liked it a lot. Also Cheeto lost his right arm, right? I hope he keeps his right arm missing. To just keep that much of an impact that going up against someone like Sojo, just made sure that that yeah, there's a price for coming with this. I'd be okay if Char healed, like if she healed his wound, like his stump to where he's not bleeding out, I'd be fine with that. But clearly she's not strong enough, so that's okay as well. But it's preferable that she's not able to, to regenerate his arm. I hope she's not able to regenerate his arm. I would not be happy with that because again, it just showed that there's the consequences for coming into a fight like this. But I have a feeling he's gonna come back with his arm. I think somehow Char's gonna be able to train with her ability and help him regrow his arm. I think that's gonna happen, and I'm not gonna be happy with that. So no, yeah, when I said heal his stump, I mean like during this fight, like not this fight, but afterwards she heals it, so that way he's able to not bleed out. Not right away, of course, but later on, when he's like wrapped up and she comes up and eventually heals his wound to where he's like all good to go, but not heal his arm completely. I wouldn't want that, but I think that's the direction they're gonna go with because I don't think they're gonna have Cheeto go throughout this entire fight with just one arm. It'd be cool, but we'll see, right? I think it'd be cool to have consequences like that. But we'll see, right? So yeah, that concludes my review of Kagurabachi, Chapter 18, Roar, and yeah, I can't wait to read the next chapter. So yeah, very good. I'm hyped. So anyway, that concludes it, and I hope you guys have a great day.